I thought we'd start today with a little bit of channeling up front, and then I'll do a healing, since we have some people who have some sick people that they're dealing with and have requested prayer. Is that okay with everyone?
Yes.
All right. Has everyone done channeling?
Nope.
All right. Anybody else has never done channeling? Okay. So you know what it is. You know what channeling is. I'm asking the two of you who've never done it. There may
No.
be one, I can't see them. You don't know what it is?
No, I don't.
Okay. What about you, Neil?
I have a sense, but I'd be interested to hear your or somebody else's description of it.
Channeling is when you receive information from outside sources, spirit guides or angels or masters or people from other dimensions or someone from the future, wherever you're receiving it from. And there's more than one way to do that. Like you can carry on a three-way conversation. Some spirit is standing here talking to you and you hear what they have to say, and you give that out to the people who are the audience, whoever the audience is. So a three-way type of conversation. That person could ask a question. The guide would give an answer. You would be the interpreter and be hearing the information and give it to the other people. Some people go into trances to do that, to channel. And I have never done that, but some people go into a trance to channel, where they just step aside and kind of give their body for the use of the spirit, and the spirit speaks through their body. There is a version of that I do sometimes, where I allow the spirit to come and be inside of me, but I never seem to lose consciousness. I know everything that's going on. And if I wanted to, I could add to the conversation. But usually when you do that, the spirit has different personality than you do. And so that will come through in the way you act, in the message that you're giving. So there are also forms of channeling like automatic writing, where you're just sitting there writing down whatever comes to mind. And that information is then transferred through your hand onto the paper and you write it out. So there are probably other ways to do it, but those are the ones I'm most familiar with. Would you like me to give you a sample?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So first I'm going to do the three-way type, where it's a spirit standing over here, or actually they're standing over on my other side, talking to me. And they want you to know what they bring to the table. My dear friends, there is much to celebrate in this world that people have not focused on enough. Do know that some of the beings on your planet are transcending, and what you think of as extinction isn't necessarily extinction. It is the vibrating of those beings off of this version of the planet and on to the next, and where they will live on and continue to have their species. So do not be concerned. You'll join them soon enough. I wish that I could describe to you in detail every event that is going to occur as we go through this transition, but it is a long list and I probably could not do it in the length of time that she's allotted me. So I will hurriedly say a lot's going to happen over the next few years, and you will feel your vibration to continue to rise, and that of the planet under your feet will continue to rise. And sometimes you will actually feel it vibrating under your feet. The change is happening that quickly. And there's nothing to be afraid of. It will be a seamless transition. And you'll barely know it happened once it does, other than the fact that the world will become far more peaceful for you and greener and more filled with life and love. So just a better place to live. And you'll begin to see people who seem to be passing away very rapidly. But part of that is that those who can't make this transition are seeming to pass on, when in fact their vibration can't be sustained on where we're going. So they may seem not, they just can't vibrate at the same rate. So they cease to appear to us. And in that guise, in that, as that happens, we seem to think they are dead, but not all of them are. Some of them are. And I must have been thinking about Jimmy Carter, because they said, yes, Jimmy Carter is coming over to the other side, and he is a blessing anywhere he goes. So we are very happy to receive him, and we'll take good care of him. All right, that's someone standing here. I'm asking who that was. I don't know, the name is huge. And from another dimension, Gadsty. He said I could call him the Great Gasty because that name must be 20 syllables long. So that's what I'll call it. He's got a sense of humor too. All right, that's one version of channeling. Now I'll do another. The beauty of the place where you live. It is incomprehensible to me how you cannot appreciate this. Not every place is so beautiful. And this one is green and colorful and lively. And my heart hurts when I think of people not loving it, when I think of people who cannot see all the beauty in the world. How sad for them. How sad it is for them that they can't enjoy living. There are just so many people who don't enjoy living. And my heart goes out to them. And I want that to change for everyone. And I am working toward those changes along with all the other members of the Peace Council and the Intergalactic Council and many, many, many other guides and beings and those who have come to this side to work. We have band together to create great groups of beings who are intervening and helping people to see. And it is my pleasure and my joy to look out at you and see you and how beautiful all your souls are. I can see the different colors in your souls. I can see all the rays of creation passing through you. You are being created even as we speak. You change and grow and become even more. And some of this is because the band of beings, all of these different councils who have come together at one place and one time to ensure that this earth changes, that this earth reaches its potential, that each of you reach your potential. And so we are filling you with everything you need to do that. Growth is yours. And so she is stepping back out of me. And that was Isis. And could you feel the difference? Okay. A different type of channeling. Do any of you want to try it? Why don't you try by writing it down? Just let the information come through you, being open as you could be. Open channel D, as they used to say, as Napoleon Solo used to say on The Man from U.N.C.L.E. But open every one of those channels and let the information flow through you. Your brain knows the vocabulary of energy, and that's what you're getting is the energy and thoughts that someone else is sending to you. Does anyone here have an Uncle Jim? Does anyone have an Uncle Jim? Okay, Uncle Jim says, good job.
It might be me.
So more than one of you have an Uncle Jim?
My Uncle Jim passed away a long, long time ago.
And is it Jennifer that said
Yes.
that?
Yes.
Your Uncle Jim, where is he?
He passed about 10, 15 years ago, maybe.
Okay, well, they both decided to come, so I don't need to answer which it is. I've got both of them here. And the first Uncle Jim, I believe, belonged to Jane. That first Uncle Jim was saying how he was very proud of you and wants you to continue on this path because he thinks you're doing an excellent job. And he says not to worry about Clem, that Clem is so well taken care of. He's been welcomed by so many people and everyone loves him. And they celebrate with him. And that Clem misses you, but he doesn't see it quite like you do because he knows you'll be with him in the blink of an eye. Time really means nothing there. And he sees your soul and dances with your soul every day. Okay. That's
Thank you.
channeling from people who have crossed over, which is slightly different than a channeling from people who never were here or who haven't been on the planet in so long, that they're ancient beings. Jennifer, did your Uncle Jim have dark hair?
When he was younger, yes.
Okay, well, that's usually the way people appear when you see them after they've passed on, kind of in as they were in the prime of life. Did he like his hair?
I'm not sure. It's actually
Okay.
a great uncle, so I didn't know him till
Okay,
later.
He's showing me his hair.
Okay.
He likes his hair. He says it's thick and heavy. So when he got older, did he lose some of his hair?
I think he still had a pretty good head of hair. So yeah, I can see why he would like his hair.
He and he's also smiling, and he's telling you to persevere, that there's something that you want to do and he wants you to persevere with it. You want to tell us what it is you want to do?
Oh, well, I'm in acupuncture school. I'm in my final year, so that's probably what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He gave me a thumbs up, so keep going, because you will be able to do the things you want to do with that. But he also says add some other things to it.
Okay.
That just one thing you'll probably get tired of after a while. So he sees you adding some things to that and you'll make a good living with it. That's what he
Wow.
says.
Wow. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
So that was several different types of channeling. And what I did was just hear the first Uncle Jim, and I could feel his presence. I couldn't exactly see what he looked like. And I never did see what the other Uncle Jim looked like either. I only could see his hair. That's what he was showing me, his thick, dark hair. So I could just see a head of thick, dark hair. It was beautiful, by the way. But I never saw the rest of them, only heard their name. And they identified themselves so that people could respond. So channeling is really pretty easy. You just become very receptive. Let the energy come to you. And if there's something that someone needs to know or an important message, it will come into you, and you can put your radar out there and let it go kind of like this and start picking up where someone wants to speak. I just sit my crown kind of waving in the wind like this and let it scan around until I tune it on a frequency and say, oh yeah, there's somebody that wants to talk. And they start talking, and I stop the dial on the radio right there and listen, and the sound comes into me. I can hear what they're saying. It doesn't always sound. Sometimes I just got the words in my head. With the two Uncle Jams, I could hear them, but that's not always the way it is. Sometimes it's just hearing or knowing the words in your head and being able to give those out. Your brain has everything it needs to process what energy means, because you've been exposed in all the places you've ever been, everything you've ever done, all the lifetimes you've lived, every dimension that you live in, everywhere, everything all at once. You know, you've been exposed to everything, and you have accumulated a vast reservoir of energy language that you have access to the translation of. And your brain learned this throughout your whole lifetime. This time, you know what sad is, you know what happy is, you know what it feels like when someone's in your space. Everyone feels it when someone gets real close to them. You feel it. Well, when someone who doesn't particularly have a body, but has a lot of impact on this plane of existence gets in your space, you can feel that too. And when they communicate, it is through frequency. It's a series of vibrations that come through, and each packet of that, each little throb of energy has meaning to it. And this is what your brain is interpreting. And then your senses, which we think of as our psychic senses, but in reality, when we're receiving information like that, we vibrate. So if there's somebody standing over here talking to me, the reason I can hear it is because the bones in my head, under my ear, around my ear begin to vibrate, and my brain begins to interpret that as sound. Instead of a sound wave, I'm getting a frequency wave, a light wave, and then my brain will take that information and it transfers from the bones that are vibrating through the nerve that runs up into your brain from your ear, and you interpret it as sound. Or you may have a visual, in which case the energy hits you and your body senses it, it feels it first. You may feel it as soon as it hits your aura. And the vibration, you begin to move with that vibration and tune into it, focus on it. And then it starts to make sense. The more you do it, the more quickly you can do it. When you were first learning how to read, you couldn't read the whole word cat. First, you had to learn C, K, 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 and A, or A, and then T, and then you had to cat, or house. You learned how to put all of that together. That also occurs inside of your brain. It's learning how to read the information and begins to interpret what the different components, those little packages of information, wave after wave after wave of information means. So your brain is going through that process of going, house. Ooh, that's a house. You may see an image of a house. You may hear the word house. You may just know it's a house. Whichever way is your preference psychically, that's the way you get information. And you will interpret and know. All right, you ready to try it? We're going to invite a group of, I think that first group that has maybe millions of beings in it, but a subgroup of them is coming. There may be 60 or 75 of them. And they're going to start interacting with you. Let me know when you can feel them. Sarah, are you nodding yes? Okay. So if you have something to write on, or, I mean, it's also possible if you can remember it, just to remember it, but writing might make it easier for you. Show of hands when you have information. We'll give those who haven't yet received anything just a couple more minutes. And don't have any performance anxiety. It's not a test. Just relax and let it flow and trust your instincts. So if you get a couple of words in your head, write them down. If you see a color, write it down. If you feel something, write it down. It's all good. And getting started, it's hard for everybody to usually just start. At least it took me a while to be able to do it, but the more you do it, the better you get. And they all want to talk. All right, who wants to share what they got? Michelle?
I had to put my glasses on so I could see what I wrote. So the energy came in pretty quickly, and it really kind of forced me to ground myself. And what I got was, and it's kind of all over the place, but I'll try to make it flow. Time is now to allow for flow, know and realize. And when I heard know and realize, I actually sensed that it's more than that. It's feel. So feel the vibration that moves through the human body. And this is for all of us, by the way. Be grounded in the knowing, allowing energy to flow. And then I actually saw an electric silver blue color flowing from my body, flowing out into the universe. Listen to the universe by allowing yourself to be open without judgment. Allow, flow, feel, open your mind's eye, clear the throat chakra. Don't get stuck interpreting what you see. Get out of the way, just allow. I heard insights. What I think that meant was that there are insights coming as we allow. Create and be filled with joy. That
Excellent.
was it.
Beautiful. Do you know who that was?
I don't know who it was. I communicate with Archangel Michael often.
It wasn't.
No, I think that Archangel Michael's presence was there when I first started, but I don't actually know who it was. That
Okay.
I saw about, I think I saw 3 to 4 beings there present in front of me.
Yes, groups will often come and choose a spokesperson. And it's really the group talking to you. That isn't unusual. All right. Anyone else want to share? Teresa?
Okay, so there was a gaggle of people. I don't know how much a gaggle is, but it was a group. And they were very excited to be here. and I could hear them rustling. Now, of course, you know that they're energy, but it was almost as if they wore satin or some sort of material that kind of rustled and made a noise when they moved. They were very beautiful and they were very curious. They've been here before, but they haven't been here for a while. And they're very excited about looking at us because we are intriguing in that our energy is different than it was when they were here last. It is higher. They can see us more clearly, and they feel that we can feel them more than we used to be able to feel them. They're also, they sort of said, well, you don't really appreciate being in form. It's so wonderful to be able to have a sip of tea or eat a piece of chocolate, or how wonderful just, you know, eating is, what a sensation that is, that you should enjoy it and wonder the wonderfulness of life and being in form. And that as your energy is rising, they plan to come back more often. And they gave us a initiation, an experience of energy from their forte, which was like honey that was very thick and was like almost like food that was absorbed by us. And it turned on spigots of information for us to be able to go back to and get more almost like nutrients, energy nutrients. And they want to come back again.
Well, we'll certainly let them do that.
Yes.
I'm saying to them, and I can see some of them, that we appreciate what they've told us, and we appreciate them and feel them and want them very much to come talk to us again. And it's like a hug.
Yeah.
Group hug. It's very warm and nurturing and sweet. So sweet.
Very sweet. Yeah.
All right, who else wants to share? Sarah, you got anything?
I saw somebody else raised her hand, so
Oh, I didn't see. But
You-
whoever it was, raise your
Joe
hand.
raised her hand.
Who?
Joe.
Okay. Go ahead, Joe, and I'll come back to you, Sarah.
Oh, okay. I have to say I had a little trouble knowing if it was channeling or if I was switching to my mind. But what I got was your ocean teaches you, and a great teacher it is. It's everlasting, eternal, like your soul. Like your lifetime, it is rough or calm. It will always change, but it's constant in its change. You have much to learn from it.
I can tell you were channeling, Joe, because as soon as you started talking, I felt like I'd been plunged into the ocean, and I could feel every droplet of the water in it. It was an incredible experience. So definite channeling of those beings who oversee the oceans, like the consciousness behind the oceans. It's beautiful.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that feedback. You made me happy.
Good. We love to do that. Okay, Sarah.
Okay, so mine kind of went all over the place, kind of like how I am all over the place. So first I started seeing a movie man, a black man entertainer, top hat, dancing, cane and a stick. And he's just kind of like saying, laugh, love, and live. So just kind of like, and be unstoppable. And so I don't know if it was for someone specific in regards to someone with movies or wanting to be an actor, but then all of a sudden it switched to a group of beings. I would say like a little bit higher, but it was kind of like a silver light. And they kind of showed me a shape like elliptical, but in different movements. And it said, we are never ending. The power is within. And then we are here to guide you all on your journey. Each one receives a different message in your own way. Your life is bright, cherish it, but how you do it will be different. Appreciate all your differences and cast no judgments on others. We are all different to build what we need. So, but then at the end there, then somebody else came in, like a couple, and kind of acknowledging that we see you remembering us. So I don't know if somebody just had moved a picture of like a pair, a couple in a picture frame. So somebody showed me something there. So it was like 3 sections to it all. So
Very good. And how did you,
oh, you froze. I didn't hear you.
how did you feel about the method that you were using?
I could tell that at first I was at one level and it was just quick, right? So then the person came through, and then it kind of shifted me energetically to more of a different vibration. And then as I disconnected from that, that's when I went back to like spirits or mediumship, I would say. It's kind of how I felt.
Good. You can tell the difference. That's great.
Yeah, different levels.
It's nice to be able to, one, learn who you're talking to. It's also nice when you have a lot of control over what you channel. So practice gives you that, where if you want to talk to a certain type of light being, you call that one in, or you just call in the light being you want to talk to. Like if you said, Michael would come and talk to you, and you all should be able to feel Michael right now. How many of you can feel him? And he's willing to talk if you all are willing to listen. You want to listen to Michael for just a minute?
Mm.
All right, all of you tune in to what Michael has to say to you. Everyone got something from Michael? Good. Michelle? You raised your hand?
Just that I had received.
Oh, okay. All right, you can either answer from your first experience or from your experience with Michael, but I would still like to hear more of what people received. So Wendy, Rodrigo, what you got?
Well, I'll jump on the bandwagon with the joy from my first, Michelle and I must have gotten the same being, because joyful expression expresses the light. You've done your work, now reap the rewards of youth, and that pretty much pertains to everybody here. Love yourself. Joy is a way to give to the world. Sit up, take notice of joy as it enters each light particle. There is a glistening experience, and I could see the crystalline, and it talked about even breathing and taking in the light particles. Breathing both relaxes and intensifies health vibrations. Be present with joy, it teaches.
Very good. And Rodrigo?
Yeah, that's interesting. I got a very similar message. It was all about joy, that we should focus on sharing joy. That joy will make us grow, and that joy shouldn't be a singular thing. It's meant to be shared and multiplied. And that we experience joy in many ways. The joy will improve the quality of our life, of all humans, as a result of it. And joy contributes to our sense of belonging.
Very good. Love it. Do you know who that was?
I don't know who it was. I got some interesting ones from Michael too.
Go ahead.
Be the light that fills all darkness. Be the light that illuminates our path and be the light that fulfills us spiritually. Be the power and protection for all. Let loose the chains that hold us back through the light.
Excellent. Elizabeth?
Dear ones, you are safe. Those who are here to usher in the new world will be safe. There is nothing to fear. Trust, trust, trust. Many of you don't realize how important you are to the earth you live on, as you are the keepers of the light. More and more of you are holding the light up against the darkness for the huge shifts to take place. You are all not only light workers, but you are the keepers of the light. You hold the light, you hold the love, and it will keep increasing and growing as the frequency continues to rise. You will all rise with it and radiate. You are so loved, beloved ones. And then Michael, I got, when you call, I am always by your side. Never fear, I am here. You bathe in my sapphire ray. It gives you strength, it gives you courage to stand up for yourself and defend your truth.
Excellent. I got something very similar from Michael. And I didn't write mine down, but he said that I am the sword and shield that protects you. And I think he meant the universal you, or you in this group. And that protection is light. And that the worker that you are is sacred and required to be on earth at this time. And none of you will leave this earth until you complete the job that you were sent to do. And many of you were sent to the earth to do certain things. And you're doing it. So do not think that you are not, for you are. And each of you, unique in your own way, is a special vibration that fits into a plug on the good work of the earth that causes the earth to even exist. So the earth exists for you and your growth and development and its own growth and development. And at this point, they are intertwined and ever changing. And I will light the way from you. You have no need to fear anything. And in my presence, there is no dark. In your presence, there is no dark. That is a fear of there not being light. There is only light. And we are it. Did you raise your hand again, Michelle? Okay. I think all of you have spoken beautifully. Jane, do you have something you want to share?
Not, I mean, I can say what I got, but I was just sort of doing this to, I didn't raise my hand, but I can go if you want.
Go.
Okay, mine was more concrete than the others of you. It started out with you are a wonder to the world, gifted and talented. And that kind of embarrassed me. And then it went on to say you are sensitive and caring and love people, especially the young ones. Your choice to be an educator was good and an accurate choice. You did well. Now it's your time to deal with the infinite beyond, to receive, heal, predict, and own your power and your power of purpose. Respect, respond, and enjoy. And then I said, and that felt like Archangel Michael, because when I got Michael, it felt the same. And then it says your sister, yes, your sister will pass soon. Her passing will be easy. Many of you know that my sister and brother-in-law had limited time left. And my brother-in-law died last week, and it was a mercy. He was in such pain, and his bones were breaking. Like he got up and used a walker to go to the bathroom, and on the way, his hip broke. And there was not enough medication to stop the pain. And then he passed. And then when you ask us to go to Archangel Michael, he said, you've been a good sister. Get the key to the house. And my sister lives 200 miles from me, but we've set up a plan, and she lives in a hilly, lots of trees, neighbors aren't too close. And she's texting me every morning. If I don't get a text, I contact my twin brother. He's closer and he'll get up there. But we need to have access to a key. So tomorrow when I talk to her, we'll get that. So it's very concrete. Very different. But
Yes,
yeah. And I
all
get things from different sides. Like I can get something from this side, and then I'll get something from this side, and the energy will be different. And
there's more than one being talking to you.
yeah. And then, anyway. And I saw after the message with my sister leaving soon. I've been checking on my brother-in-law ever since he passed. And initially he was being supported by my mom and dad, his mom and dad, his sister who had passed, and a couple of their dogs that they loved. They were supporting him. The next day I checked in on him. He wasn't supported. Today, he was totally unsupported. He was getting, I'll say, his heaven legs, heavenly legs. And after all this, I saw him dancing because my sister's coming over. So, and they've been married all their lives. Very early.
Good stuff. Neil, did you get anything?
In the first thing, I was just getting a sensation in my chest deeper than I usually reside in my body, but I wasn't really getting any clear input that I could make out. And at some point I got an image of like a couple dancing, and it just felt like there was a message just to, like put on your dancing shoes and enjoy life. And that was sort of it. And with Michael, I guess, and I don't know how much I'm just projecting, it just felt like I was getting thoughts of like life being easy and yeah, not such a trial or something, but I don't know if that was just my own projection or what.
No, I don't think so. That sounds exactly like something that you would be told in order to help you. So good. And is it Summit? I'm probably saying it wrong. You're muted, so if you could unmute yourself.
Sorry, I thought I was not muted. So yeah, I didn't see much. This is my first time, and I'm really planning to open a business. So I was closing my eyes so I can visualize something. I felt I was in a seminar where people were trying to help me, and I'm going to a seminar for business on March 15th. And it seemed like everything is so easy. I should not think too much because those people were helping me while I was visualizing. So that's about it.
I can tell you that often we visit with the people that are going to be involved with us in the future and plan things out with them in spirit before we ever meet them. That happens to people a lot. And sometimes you remember it and sometimes you don't remember it.
This one I will remember.
Yeah, that was excellent that you could see that. Good job.
Right. Thank you.
And you were visiting with more than them. You also had another group there with you. I don't know whether you saw them or not, but you had the enterprise guides there, and they help people who want to run ethical and spiritual practices with their business, meaning they have a business, but they follow the spiritual principles of giving service and being honest and ethical in their business. They will help those people extensively. And I felt like they made contact with you as well. And you'll have a lot of ideas coming in that they're going to give you to help you proceed with your business. And that's one of the reasons that it'll be easy for you.
Thank you. And this is very correct, whatever you just said. This is how I am.
Very good. Yeah, we knew that about you. It's easy to see in your aura. All right, anybody else want to share? There are a few people I can't see. I'll come right back to you, Yvonne. So there are a few people there that I can't see because I can't see them on my screen. So if you want to jump in, you need to say something so that I can see you. But we'll come back to Yvonne now.
Yeah, so for me, the first one, it was really more energetic and visual, kinesthetic. So there was like this feeling, like an energy and a feeling of fortification, hope, optimism, and upliftment. And I started to sweat, like, and it went on like way after it was done. You know, it felt like it was a very sort of energetic receiving. And there was this incredibly tall mountain, tall mountain. And I was watching, I don't know what you would call it, like these little lines through the mountain. And it was like something was traveling downward, and it was sort of a tight corkscrew. And down at the bottom, there was a cool, clear body of water. And that was like the biggest part of it, was just the energetics of it and the mountain, and watching this pathway going downward in sort of a tight spiral. And then the word anchovies also came up. It's like, okay, so that's that's what I got.
Maybe you need some.
Yeah, I wondered about that. Do I need some fish oil?
I would do that. Have some fish oil. Sounds right to me.
Mhm.
All right. Is there anyone else who wants to share? All right. What about the people I can't see? Okay. Donna, is there anything you want to share? Hiding out in the background there.
Oh, no, I was watching for more participants to join,
Ah, okay.
but I was listening. This was fascinating.
All right. So, yes, Yvonne.
I just wanted to add one more thing. And then at the end, I was shown, like, you know, those, when you were a kid, like the construction paper links, where you sort of make a circle and then you put a circle in a circle and then you put a circle in a circle. They showed me that too. So I was wondering if any of that had to do with, like, well, definitely connectivity, but also like DNA, you know, with the corkscrew and with the chain links.
I think that is representative of a lot of different things. That was kind of the feeling that I was getting from it. The first thing that occurred to me was it was like your DNA. Did you see any weak links in it?
No.
Okay. So,
but it wasn't super long, you know, there were maybe like 4 to 6. It wasn't a chain that went on through eternity.
The other feeling I got from it is that everything's connected and everything is interdependent. Nothing happens in a vacuum, and everything is a spiral. That energy spirals, that's what it does. And everything wants to become a spiral and be a spiral. And that if you get energy to spiral, you've done a really good job of taking it in and using it correctly. So those were basically the 3 hits that I got off of that. Anybody else feel anything about it? All right. So are you ready to move on and do some healing? Donna, how much time do we have left?
We have 45 minutes to 9:30.
Okay.
I mean, sorry, 15 minutes to 9 o'clock. I don't know why I was thinking 9:30.
All right, is that
It's
what time
8:40.
it is?
It's
It's
8:45.
8:45. Okay.
Mhm.
All right, well, I guess we'll do it fast. And I think that it can all happen at the speed of light. So I'm going to ask you to say out loud anyone that you want to receive healing today.
Beth, Alan, and Chris.
Matt, Eric, Audie, Ermi, each one of us.
Rebecca, Adrian, Andres,
Charles,
Stephen, Matt,
Danny,
Lorraine, and
And-
Herb.
It doesn't matter if you talk over each other, God hears you, so just talk.
Mhm.
Ann, Scott, Jim,
Alan,
Lorraine, and Herb.
Mary,
Christopher,
Mark,
Michael, Danielle,
Vicky,
everyone here.
Dave, and
everyone,
Carly,
the entire family, the whole world, all of
the whole
humanity,
world.
all of the
Becky,
animals,
Family, Rocky,
Beth,
my family,
Aspen, Athena,
of my pets.
my sister Janice,
Elizabeth, Alice,
me,
Dina, Pam,
honey.
Elizabeth Yoder,
me,
I want to add in the people of Turkey and Syria.
oh yes,
the Ukraine,
Absolutely.
Iran,
And I would say the Russian people as well. They're equally as traumatized.
and Tuesday and Thursday groups,
Denny, Kathleen,
And then Cynthia Hehar, who sometimes attends, sent me a whole long list of people. So I'm adding all of those people in as well. She has a grandchild in the hospital and another of other people that she's concerned about. All right. So we're going to say the prayer and then send healing to all those people and to all of you. And that energy is already starting. There's a beautiful green energy coming in. That's Raphael's way. A lot of heart healing. A lot of healing throughout the solar plexus, internal organ healing, nervous system healing, continuing some work on people's trauma packets. That are releasing from your bodies. The ones that it's been hard for you to let go of. That also looks like a chain, Yvonne, as it comes out of people. It's thought forms that are linked together, and then they wind around each other and ball up, and that forms the congested energy that people have when their energy isn't working for them. So it's pulling them out, and it looks like chains of thought forms coming out. Some of them have been stubbornly resistant to letting go. It's working in people's spines, throughout their endocrine system, ear, nose, throat, working on allergies, chemical sensitivities, inflammatory disorders like arthritis, working very strongly on your husband's heart, Teresa.
Thank you.
Working with your daughter, Donna.
Thank you.
With all of Cynthia's family members. I was working on you, Cindy Woods. And all of us tend to take in a chemical stew just from living in the world. So each of us has our own little chains of molecules coming out of us that are that chemical stew that's being released, detoxifying. Someone has a heart valve issue, it's working on that. Oh, for those who were in the class on healing emotional trauma and you got to work on someone that I brought in for that, I wanted you to know that she loved it so much, she wants her daughter to do it. And so we're doing our Wednesday development group, which will be next Wednesday. We're going to work on her daughter. She loved it. You all did a great job and she loved it.
That's great.
Blow out. And I'm hearing that one of the things to remind you about when you're channeling is you have to be grounded to do it well. It's harder to translate the information you're getting if you're not centered and grounded, because it's harder to interpret what your nervous system is telling you and what your brain is figuring out from the vibration it's receiving. So always center and ground yourself before you channel. Blow out. It's working on digestive tracts. And is working what some of us might think is older person symptoms. not as young as we used to be symptoms, but it wants to make them so that you don't have to have not as young as you used to be symptoms, that there's less of that because the thought form about aging shrinks. There's my dog. Blow out. So this energy is anti-aging. We won't call it that. Anti-inflammatory conditions that we think of as being associated with getting older. Blow. You may feel that in your feet. It's kind of washing that away out of your cells, out of the constructs of your mind that have been built by society's opinion of aging, where nobody likes doing it and making that different. Boy, I lived this long. That's wonderful. I'm getting better every day. I'm fine wine. Your lymph system is clearing. Some of you have some telltale signs of having had COVID, and it's working on that. It's also working on some other viruses hiding out in your system, like herpes or the ones that cause cold sores, that kind of thing. Working on that. And a few others that just hide out in your system. Blow. And some of you are unloading your burdens. No need to carry around a burden in this world. Because the energy wants you to whistle while you work. Blow. And then it's giving you sunshine. I know a lot of us haven't been standing outside in the sunshine because a lot of times it's been cold. So the sunshine didn't help much. So it's downloading sunshine. And revving up your vitamin E. Vitamin D, I'm sorry. A few of you are deficient in calcium in your bones. So it wants to help you, your body, remember how to build bones. And some of you have some old sports injuries. And it's working on those. It's also working where some of you have had concussions and your brain kind of rattled around in your head like you had shaken baby syndrome. So it's working on what happened to your brain during that time? And what happened to your neck when that occurred? Blow out. And then the energy is going more powerful, and you will have a purge of any information in your system that doesn't serve you. Any thoughts you've accumulated that are harmful to you. They sat here and promised you a long life with joy in it. And the way to have that is to let these thoughts go. So they are purging. And the energy wants you to get up every day and say that I have another opportunity today to love everybody. How glorious that is. Think I'll kiss myself. Think I'll kiss everybody else who'll let me. And this is how we all heal. Take that opportunity every day to be the great being that you are. Every moment, every day is the opportunity to excel as being by loving and laughing. Being in love with life. Blow out. And there is a shift in personality. The creation ability expanding. Having faith in your ability to create whatever you need at any time, at any place, just by thinking about it. That is faith in yourself and faith in the divine, who is also you. There's activation in all of your cells and a release of body chemistry that's going to feel better. Balancing your body chemistry. You have hormones and enzymes cascading, hormones releasing. And a conversion of your will to aiding the greater good. so that your will serves everyone and everything, including yourself. Because that's what divine will is. And your will reflects divine will. Blow out. That is when you are at your best and your happiest. When you are serving the greater good through love. And you all like candles now. The whole group looks like a candle now. A flame. And that flame is a passion. Passionate living. Passionate love for existence. We cannot enjoy life if we run from it, or hide from it, or cry about it. So passionately love your existence and that of everyone else. And the flame just keeps getting bigger. Until we here are creating a flame so big, it can be seen across the universe. Here we are, baby. We're great. And we're happy to be alive. And we welcome you. Join us. And everyone you mentioned has this flame moving through them, this energy of life force, the coming alive, the being fully alive, and using your energy for the greater good, including you, because the greater good includes you as well. And in that state, where we are all working for the greater good, is when we receive the most, because the universe will conspire to keep your light burning so that you can keep working for the greater good. Everyone is grounding, centering. You're getting a redistribution of energy, so it's becoming balanced. And concepts that delay your development or hinder your happiness or prevent you from seeing how you fit in the universe continue to leave you, depart, because they don't serve you anymore. And you have recognized the ones that do not. And as they leave, your awareness grows. For you are a light into the world. And that feels complete. It was lovely to have you, Sarah. It's lovely to have every one of you here. I love you all so much. Oh, you beautiful beings.
Thank you, Wanda.
Thank you, Wanda.
Blessings to
Thank you,
everyone.
Wanda.
All you beautiful, beautiful souls. You make me happy just to be alive because I get to hang out with beautiful people.
Oh, thank you,
I'm the
Wanda.
luckiest woman in the world.
Thank you so much, Wanda. Much love to you. Much love to everyone. Thank you. Thank you.
Love to all.
And glad to meet you, some of you that I haven't seen before. Very nice to meet you. Bye.